Okay, good afternoon, great people. I hope you're doing good this period. Obviously, this is going to be ending very soon, so there is no cause for alarm. My name is Tomiwa Dari Onosibu, and I would love to say to someone that please don't waste your time trying to prove any point to anybody this period about anything. Some people are saying, is this from God or is this from devil? And the reason why I said that is because those things are out of our control and really they don't really matter. My question is, if this is from God, what will you do to him? Or if this is from the devil, will you beat him? So things that are out of our control, I feel we need to let those things go and focus majorly on things within our control, and that is how we respond at this period in time, because obviously that will ultimately shape the outcome of this eventually. So I'm saying to someone, don't bother yourself with who this is from. What we should focus on is what is God trying to do. I believe that something of this magnitude cannot happen on earth and God won't be aware. So if God is aware of this, God must have permitted it. If God permitted it, it must be for a reason, and that reason should be our focus. I believe sincerely that He permitted the death on the cross for a reason. He perfected the salvation plan with the death of Christ on the cross, His only begotten. So, how much more? I know that if He's permitting this on earth, there must have been a reason for that, and that reason is our focus. I believe one of the things that God wants to do this period is that God wants to give new knowledge across every walks of life, every sector. I believe God wants to give us new knowledge as a people, new discovery on different field, financial, science, IT, banking, and whichever sector you want to think about, agriculture. God wants to teach us new way of doing things. One of the things also I believe God wants to do is that He wants to broaden our perspective as a people, how we interpret things of life, how we interpret outcomes and events of life. He wants to broaden our perspective. One of the things also that I believe God wants to do is that He wants to deepen our conviction level. So some people, their faith won't grow except for a period like this. So I believe God permitted this for some people to really grow their faith, their belief system. So also one of the things I believe God wants to do is that God wants to give entire human race new skill set. What do I mean by that? The skill set we had before we got here won't obviously take us or won't sustain us after this period. What do I mean by that? Survival or dominion after this season requires some skill set, and I believe that God wants to give it out if only we will focus as God's people to pay attention to what God wants to do. Lastly, I believe God wants to birth new character in some of us. This is the only opportunity some people will have to learn perseverance, tolerance, selflessness, love. So this is the period that some people will have to learn stuff like that. But above all, one thing I just want to say is that just imagine. I know that there is nothing that is capable of taking out human race completely out of this planet, because the Bible records it that this earth has been given unto the Son of Man. So my question is, if you happens to be the only survivor of this pandemic, do you think that God can trust you enough to carry out His will and His plan afterwards? What do I mean by that? I'm saying if you happens to be God's last card to check up, can He trust you enough to really carry out His plan and His purpose here on earth? I feel these are the things we need to focus on so that we can maximize this period and get the best of God. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you from the depth of my heart. God bless you.